headed into Saturday night?
Well, I'm feeling great, going into Saturday night. I had a tremendous training camp. I was getting in, you know, how, different type of sparring, with likes of Terrence Crawford, Jerron Boots Ennis, Maurice Hooker, Jamel Hearn. I went and got different looks. So now I know come Saturday night, I'm prepared for any type of look he willing to bring.
That's fantastic. That sounds like a strong camp. And obviously, you might have been on the books to fight in the spring or early summer. Has the pandemic changed your program? Obviously, it's changed your training schedule, but you feel it affect you physically on Saturday?
No, not really. It didn't really affect me, physically and this and that. It more affected, my mental, because I was set, ready to fight in the summer, and things of that nature. But, that's when, the pandemic hit. So I mean, can't cry over spilled milk.
Understood. All right, let's go to Jeremy Harridges, fan sided. Jeremy, go ahead.
Hey Malik, thank you for taking the time to talk. I'm curious if did you watch Subriel's last fight? Did you study it all? And what did you think about his first loss to Petros Ananyan?
Yeah, we definitely watched his last fight, and what I seen, is that he's everyone looks at his record, him being 15, because he prior to that fight he was 15-0 with 15 knockouts and this that and the third. Well, what I seen was that when you actually fight him back, he's just a B class fight, B or C class fighter for real.
I know that his original promoter after the fight tried to excuse it as he didn't take it seriously, he didn't train. Do you view that as an excuse, or do you think we really saw the type of fighter he was right there in that fight?
Yeah, I really think that's the type of fighter he really is. It's that, like, if you know you're going into a fight, I don't like how I train. It don't matter if the person I could be fighting could be 0-20. I'm still going to treat it like he's 20-0.
You're a very big junior welterweight, and I mean you have numerous inches over him. Do you think that you're going to be able to overpower him in this fight?
Of course. One thing I do know is he's going to try to come in there, try to bully me and things of that nature. But that's what I grew up doing, and I'm not going to sit there and let him, beat me at my own game.
Final question for me. He's got an impressive KO rating of like 94%. Do you think he's really got great power, or do you think that's a byproduct of maybe some weaknesses in his resume?
I mean, I don't really pay attention, to someone's knockout ratio or things of that nature. Yeah, so what he got? He got 15 knockouts, 15 fights, and this and that third. Them knockouts didn't come against no one that fights like me.
I hear you. Malik, best of luck, and look forward to watching you fight.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy. Let's go to Keith Idec.
Hey, Malik, you obviously couldn't have gotten better sparring than you got for this fight. That's an impressive list, of course. So did you go, I think you mentioned to me yesterday you were in Philadelphia and then in Maryland. You went to Omaha also to spar with Terrence?
Yes, sir.
How many times did you guys spar together?
We sparred about 3 or 4 times. The first time he just wanted, to see what I was capable of doing. And then, the last couple times that I sparred with him, he was just mainly more so with him teaching me, how to, throw punches at different angles, and him teaching me how to get out of certain situations.
How recently were those sparring sessions with Terrence?
That was early, I want to say about June or July.
Okay, so it was okay. And how recently with Boots when you were in Philadelphia sparring with him?
I want to say about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Okay. And just overall, what do you think this fight, Malik, can do for you in terms of moving you forward in the direction you want to go?
With this fight, a victory in this fight, it leads me on to bigger and better opportunities. you know, it takes me one step closer to that world title shot.
Great. Thanks for your time, Malik.
Thank you.
All right, Malik. So tell us a little bit more, belabor the point, but I know you had you had a brush close to the family with the COVID-19 during the pandemic. Tell us about your mom. How's she doing now, and what was the experience like for her? I know it wasn't easy.
Well, my mother, you know, she doing great. You know, she doing great. She recovered from COVID-19, and when she had it, I've never ever seen my mother, you know, look as terrible as she did. Actually, the night that I took her to the hospital, you know, it was probably one of the worst nights that I ever seen her being sick ever in my life, because she was in her bed and she was shaking, and she just said she couldn't take it no more. So I just decided, I got up, you know, made her put some clothes on, and I drove her to the hospital.
And I understand she spent about 2 weeks in hospital.
Yeah, she spent 2.5 weeks.
So she's a fighter for sure. She's
Yeah.
home now and fully healthy.
Yeah, yes, sir. They don't call her Ice Mom for nothing.
Well, that's great. We're really glad to hear that. And looking forward to, you know, obviously a big night for you and your career on Saturday night. You have something else coming up special in your life, I understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that.
November 26th, I have my firstborn son.
Terrific. Congratulations. Yeah. Due to have your first baby boy, November 26th. That's great. Exciting time for you. You got a friend, a stable mate, so to speak, a gym mate since you guys were boys, Tank Davis. I assume he's going to be watching the fight on Saturday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Will he give you a rating? You guys will speak after the bout, do you expect?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We always do that.
Right. And I'm sure you'll be watching then on Halloween night for him. You typically train with Coach Calvin Ford. Is it an instance where Calvin had to be in Las Vegas with Tank, and that's why you're with Kenny Ellis for this particular?
Well, no, actually, you know, Kenny Ellis, he's always been my head trainer. It's just that, well, I just don't look at, you know, neither him or Calvin, you know, as head trainer. I look at them, both of them my head trainer. They co-train me.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't have any other questions from the press in queue at this time, so I think we're going to let you go. Continue to prep for the weigh-in and for the fight on Saturday. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate you.
You know, and I'm more than ready for, you know, Saturday night. You know, I'm not going to chase no knockout, but, you know, my plan is to get him out within 7. But if it doesn't go that route, you know, I already know, you know, I'm going to win no matter what.
That's terrific. All right, you're going to face Claudio Marrero for an eliminator bout at super featherweight. So let's go to press questions. Our first comes from Keith Idek, BoxingScene.com. Keith, go ahead.
Hey, Xavier, I was just wondering, how much of a step up do you feel this is against Marrero in the sense that he's fought a lot of high-level featherweights? Of course, he's not now in a different weight class, but how much of a step up do you feel it is?
I feel like it's a big step up, you know. I get an opportunity to, you know, to show my skills against, you know, someone who has experience. But, you know, just because he has more experience than me doesn't mean he's better than me. I'm very excited to, you know, fight. You know, I haven't fought in a while, but like I said, I've been in camp for a long time, and all my preparation, you know, it went very well. So Saturday night, you know, you guys are going to be in for a treat.
Xavier, what was it like for you to have the fight postponed for 2 weeks? Because, of course, you're, you know, weight-wise, you're peaking at certain times and everything. How much of a disruption was that for you?
It wasn't too much of a disruption. You know, I was, you know, a little upset about it, but then, you know, you just got to take everything in stride. And, you know, I just had to look at it as like, you know, I get 2 more weeks, you know, of more preparation. You know, when it got postponed, I was actually able to eat, you know, a couple of nice meals and then get right back onto my diet. So, you know, I was actually happy to eat.
I'm sure. I know you mentioned inside of 7. I'm assuming that's a specific thing because he has not been knocked out before 7 before, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen he's been stopped, but you know, like I said, like I'm not looking for a knockout. my plan is to go in there and, overwhelm them with combinations and, stay on them.
And where do you view a fight like this taking you in terms of where you want to be in 2021?
In there and, after this fight, I hope to be able to get a world title my next fight, or, after if they have another one for me, and then, fight for the world title. So within 2 fights.
Thanks, Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier, I know you said you're not looking for the knockout, but you do have impressive wins. You've stolen the show on Showtime before. As Keith mentioned, this is a step up in class. How do you plan to fight Marrero? Obviously without giving away too much of your strategy to him, and he may be listening here, but
yeah,
how can you beat him? What's the game plan?
The game plan is go in there and beat me. Adjust to whatever he does. Make the adjustments I need to make, and go in there and execute the game plan that my coach Ray has in store for me.
Okay, so if you have success on Saturday night, what would you look ahead to? Obviously your next fight is being an eliminator, so tell us about that opportunity.
I hope to fight for a world title by next year. That's the main goal. The goal is to get to a world title. And, Marrero standing in front of it, and I got to knock him out the way.
Great. We don't have any more questions in queue, so but before we let you go, I want to know what you've been doing to occupy yourself during the sort of quarantine pandemic. Other than training, dieting, preparing for the fight, how have you been occupying your time?
I've actually just been studying stocks. I day trade now. I developed, I started learning it, when the pandemic hit, and I actually made me money, these past 2 days. So I just been making money and studying.
You've enjoyed learning the markets and day trading.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think aside from boxing, this is one of the main things I focus on too now.
Well, when we see you on Saturday night, you'll have to give us some stock tips.
Oh yeah, I'll give you guys a little something.
All right. Well, look, I don't think we have any other questions in queue at this point, so we're going to let you go. Continue to prepare, and we thank you for this time.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Good luck to you tomorrow.